Thank you. Whatever you did, you'll have to show me later. Okay, there's my picture. Oh, my picture's there. Okay, start the video. Hey! Can you guys hear me? Lee, can you take the dog, please? Audio options. Okay, I cannot hear anyone else. Can you hear me? Leilani. Hey, Kara. Hey, Kara, in order to, can you hear me? No. Oh my gosh, this sucks. I have to click it to start recording. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm so glad you guys could join us this morning, join me this morning. First thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about your why. So first of all, tell me why you decided to sign up and sell Synergy Points. Who wants to go first?
You can go, Jordan.
All right, Jordan, it's all you.
Why I started to sign up. So I had never really been into makeup, like, ever. I mean, I think the day I met Haylee, I barely had any makeup on anyway. And I swam for 13 years, so I liked makeup that could come off. When I found something that doesn't rub off and just, to me, that was really impressive. They let me try some stuff out and see how it worked for me personally. Really intrigued me that, you know, she really believed in the product, along with trying it out within a day, like not even a day. It was a few hours. I knew, like, I wanted to be a part of this group. And so I went to back to Haylee and signed up. And originally I was just going to do it for the discount and, you know, my friends and family, and that was it. But I found out that, you know, the more I talked about it, or the more people asked me, you know, saying, oh, your makeup looks so good, or your skin's starting to look really good, or, you know, you just look different. It made me realize that, like, I could be helping way more people than just my close friends and family. So, you know, I want to share this product and share with the world something really amazing. So that's kind of my why.
Got it. Good one.
Awesome.
Kara.
Well, can Leilani talk? Can we hear her?
Lei, can we hear you?
Now, hopefully.
Yay! Yep, we can hear you.
It only took me 3 times logging in for it to work.
Time charm, right?
You're here.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay.
So my why, my why is kind of different. I don't know. I honestly, so growing up, I was probably more into hair and makeup and stuff than Haylee ever was.
Oh, way more.
I went to beauty school. Actually, my senior year, I've worked in salons for a long time. I've been out since I have so many kids at home. But I think even watching Haylee's transformation over the last year and a half, as she's learned how to use makeup, like, honestly, when she first started, I kind of laughed.
So did I.
Really? You're really going to do this? Like, I don't know if this is your thing, girl. But she's done really awesome, and I've been really impressed. And I really do love the product. And I don't know, it's just kind of the stuff I like to do anyway. So, and I would love to be able to get out of some debt and do all those good things too with my family.
Leilani, your turn. Tell us your why.
Okay.
Why did you initially decide to do this?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's the story of, wow, I think people really like this. When Haylee came and did my first party, and I had like a dozen people show up. And, like, 4 of them wanted to sign up to get the discount, and I was like, holy cow, like, this really is a product that people are going to love. And I didn't even get one. Like, I came and tried on one of Haylee's before the party to show people how to put it on and a color on me. She sold out at my party. I never even got a color until after I ordered. And, like, I had never even tried it, basically. So I knew that it was a good product because everybody loved it. My thing I think was because I have done a lot of businesses in the past, but I felt like this one was such a better business plan and business model where people could actually achieve the things they're telling you they could achieve. Because I think in a lot of MLMs, it's a lot of hoorah and hype, and not very many people ever get to those levels. But if you've tracked any, I know both of you guys are pretty new, but when a few years ago, there was only like a few crown princesses that walked across the stage at seminar, and then there was 30 the next year, and last year when we watched the seminar, there's 300, and there's going to be probably double or triple that this year. Like, that used to be something that seemed like so wow unachievable in the company, and now look at it. You know what I mean? Like, being a crown princess is almost like a normal thing now. And so to me, I was like, when I first went to a corporate event and I saw all these people, I think I really realized, okay, if you keep working at it, this is something that can happen. Like, even if it took a long time, like Dawn White, Christian, or anybody else that took a really long time to achieve it, it still happens if you don't stop, if you don't quit. So mine was a lot more of the paying off the bills and the debt that we got into from being out of work and all those things, and being able to have that money so that my husband doesn't have to stress, because he works a lot and he's a workaholic. But I didn't want all the burden to be on him to get us all out of debt and to try and do the vacations and the fun things. I've always wanted to help relieve him of that. And I love to travel, and I would love to take my kids to more places. And so that was my big why, is helping relieve a lot of the burden from him, and also being able to do more fun experiences and travel with my kids.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Cassie, are you there?
I think her thing is muted.
Oh, you're right, because she had kids screaming. Hold on. Cassie, are you there? All right, I'm going to say she's not. Okay. So initially, I heard Kara say that initially she started for the discount. She just wanted the products, right? Jordan, you pretty much said the same thing, right? You were just going to get the discount. Leilani, I think, saw the potential quicker just because she was already in a previous MLM and she built stuff in that. Sorry. So she knew kind of what she was looking for. I definitely started for the discount. That was my whole thing. I just wanted to get the free stuff and I was going to be done. My youngest had just started kindergarten and I was like all excited to have some time to myself, which didn't happen. Anyway, I'm going to mute Cassie. So a couple things I want to start talking about. So first of all, tell me what you think the difference is between recruiting and sponsoring.
Someone else go, because I already talked to Haylee about this yesterday.
Hey, Cass. Okay, we're talking about recruiting versus sponsoring. So, Jordan, what do you think it means to recruit?
So, like, what I see the difference being, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So how I kind of see them being different, and they're the same, but like, recruiting is like getting people to join, getting people, to sign up, and recruiting them to be a part of your team. But I feel like when you sponsor them, you give them that extra, time commitment and kind of growing them into their business. So, you're giving them the extra tips of, keeping a tracker, or you need to order square, or you need to order, certain things to help grow your business. And here's some tips and tricks why, and here's how I do things, and kind of sponsor them in that way, get them, help them with their first party, like Haylee helped me, take them to events so they can see, how those work, and kind of get them out there and supporting them at the same time, rather than just having them come in and kind of letting them sink or swim.
Right. So basically, I did a lot of research over the last couple days, but basically a recruiter brings people into a company, but they leave the training to someone else. There are a lot of people in every single company you'll ever come across that are recruiters. They're really good at getting people to sign up. But the training part, they're like, see ya. They're not there for their downline. They're not there to help them. That's not their focus. A sponsor spends time with new distributors, like Jordan kind of said, helps them get their new business running and off to a good start. Okay. So there's definitely a reason that Joni calls it sponsoring in our company and not recruiting, because that's where, as a company, that's where the focus is supposed to be. We're supposed to be helping each other. Of course, as you help people, that's what it just makes everything in your organization and theirs run smoother. You know, they understand. They know what's going on. One of the biggest things that I think you can do to sponsor is to share your passion, to share what you know, what you like. Like Jordan said, I was like, oh no, I really like this. And she was like, oh, she really likes this stuff. Okay.
Like really.
Like really, really. So what I would like to do over the next couple of weeks is kind of just talk about different objections and how to overcome them, as well as kind of go through some different ways to talk through things with people, okay? The biggest key with recruiting is it's a numbers game, okay? So for every 10 people that you talk to about signing up, 1 will join. That's it. It's a numbers game. So I was telling Cassie last night, get a little 3x5 card, put it up in your workspace, and write, I am going to get 10 no's this week. That's your goal. And then each time you get one, put a mark down. Woohoo! Someone told me no. Yes. Because when you get to that 10, you will get a yes. It's just somewhere in there, someone will say yes. Oh, sorry. I thought someone was interrupting. Okay. So the thing I want to talk about today is talking about how to talk to your customers that you already have. Okay. Talking about recruiting should be just a part of your lingo anyway. Hold on, I gotta get my notes up. So when people ask you, what do you do? Think for a minute, what do you respond with? I will tell you that typically I respond with, oh, I sell this amazing lipstick that doesn't come off. Recently, I've changed it to, oh, I sell this awesome makeup that doesn't come off. And I'm showing exactly what I do. Well, there's all kinds of really great ways to think about it. And it shouldn't just be that you're talking about the makeup or the lipstick. In all reality, you should be saying something that includes the recruiting part of it. So hold on, I'm going to tell you what's in their training book. It's really good. So basically they talked about how this is like your 30-second commercial. So when someone says, hey, Jordan, well, what do you do? And you say things, if you say things like, I help women look like $1 million and show them how to make their first million. You want it to be personal, but you're not only telling them that you sell stuff, but also that you help people. And it's those seeds. It's you plant a seed and they're like, oh, well, how do you do that? And it is something that leads into something else. Here's another way. I work with a company who specializes in incredible anti-aging cosmetics, and they teach women how to have a career in the beauty industry. You definitely have to say something that works for you. Using these words, like I would never say the one about $1 million. That's just so not me. But
I think you should.
Yeah.
you think I should? Well, you know. But you have to come up with something similar, a way that you're describing what you do that covers both ends of the spectrum, because you're not just selling. And if that's where your focus is, then that's what's going to happen. So it's like your 30-second commercial. That's kind of what you need to think about. What's my 30-second commercial? Okay, how do I pull that 30-second commercial into something that I can, probably if I was you, put it on a 3x5 card and like post it in 3 different places, maybe where you put your makeup on in the morning, maybe by your computer, so that you're seeing it every day so you can memorize it and make it yours, you know, by saying it over and over. And when you do that, of course, when you're talking about, the 4 ways that Joni talks about everything is wow, book, demo, direct, right? I'm sure if you haven't heard those yet, you will a million times. So the directing, all it means basically is allowing people or directing them to either choose to become a customer or a distributor. But if you don't ask, if you don't take that moment to say, well, do you want to pay wholesale or retail?
Right.
I want to pay wholesale. Like, who doesn't? Like, right? But it's having those words become rote almost, that you ask everyone no matter. I remember when we were at the Vintage Market Days, Kara and I were having a conversation, and after a lady had walked by, it was at the very end of one of our days there, and she just wasn't the type of woman that either of us would have been like, oh yeah, she's so gonna get some of this stuff at all. But you know what she ended up buying? Wasn't it like almost $200 worth of stuff, Kara? From Kara. Set up a party. Like the woman was like all over it. You never know. What?
Was this the one with the daughters that came back?
Yes.
Yeah.
That came back the next day. Mm-hmm. So you just don't, you never know. So you have to ask. Another thing that I found over and over, and again, we only have 5 more minutes, so I don't want to go over. I really want to try to just do 30 minutes, if that's okay with you guys. And just, if we do this consistently, you guys can even bring issues and be like, we want to talk about this, or I want help with this, and we can talk about it. But they even, Senegent's choice is really important. Make sure you're offering it to every customer. Make sure as you're training your hostesses, is really big. You don't just say, oh, awesome, you're going to have a party tomorrow or in 2 weeks. Great. See you then. I mean, you can, but then when you show up and there's nobody there and nobody comes and, there's no orders, you don't be surprised, because so much of it is about helping them understand what's important for them to do. They don't know. That's your job to tell them what to do. They don't feel like you're being a brat. Most of them are like, I don't know, if you don't tell me, I won't know. But all throughout that, every single time you talk to them, you should say, have you ever thought about this? Has it ever been something that's crossed your mind? Again, that's how I say it. It doesn't mean that that's how you should say it. You have to work it in how it works for you. One of the things they said in here that I really liked, hold on, she said, so she said that when you are at a demo, okay, so for example, we're going to talk about being at a demo. So if you're at a demo right now, you want to listen for the top 3 questions that help you immediately clue into the fact that they want to learn more, okay? So the first one is, do you need any help? Do you need help getting ready? Do you need this, that, or the other? So every time you hear it, it should like that buzzer go off in your head. Like red flag, here, let's do this. The next one is, how many parties do you do every week? They're not just making conversation. They're thinking. The third one is, how long have you been doing this? Again, they're not just making conversation, okay? So basically, okay, so here's an example of how to respond to the first one, okay? She says, do you need help unpacking? And you need to say something like, yeah, thank you so much for offering to unpack. Come on over, help me out. And then as they're helping you, you'd be like, oh my gosh, you're so good at this. Like, look at how pretty you set that up. Or, oh my, constantly kind of showing them that they could do this. It's not hard. And then really and truly the most important thing is that you listen. Talk to them. Listen, you're just having a conversation with them. You're not trying to get them to sign. You're just having a conversation. But stuff comes up. When she talks about the fact that, I don't know, they haven't been able to make their mortgage payment, or life is just, things are really tough right now. She just can't even seem to get a breath in, let alone time away from kids. She just is so inundated. Whatever it is that is her need. And then you help her find a way to pull that in. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite things about Senegents is that we get to have these girls' nights. Not only with our teammates who we love once a month, but we get to go in and have demos and play with makeup with other women and kind of have that night away, which is so good. So, but basically you want to actually ignore the obstacle and kind of let her talk herself. The more that she talks about it and you kind of continue to just say, well, and why do you think that is? Or how do you think whatever? She's going to tell you more and more and more. And then basically she kind of works through her obstacle all by herself and convinces herself, yeah, you know, I really should do this. Like, this would be kind of fun. But basically, this is the statement I want to leave you with. Sponsoring should feel like a conversation between friends who care about each other, not a yucky pitch where you're trying to convince the person that you're speaking to that they should be joining your team. This is not pitchy. This is all like, we're good friends, and you know, this may really help fill your need. But it should be a conversation between two people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that help at all?
Yeah, I think it does.
Kara, Ilani?
Yeah, I think it's all about naturally talking about it and just, you know, making it sound logical and easy for them. You know, if they want to just earn some money or they want some time away or whatever, like you said, with all those things they talk about, you can make it seem, because it is. It's a great opportunity. Some people just get caught up with MLMs or joining to sell. They get scared, but you just,
Well, and I definitely was one of those people. Like, I was like, I do have another job as well, and for me, it was like, I don't really like doing that to people. I don't like it done to myself or anything. And when I talked to Haylee, it didn't even cross my mind, like how she approached it and came about, like how other people have. I've been approached about selling multiple different things, and when I talked to Haylee, that's not the impression I got, and that's why I think it really, stuck with me. Is I didn't feel like I had to, like I almost wanted to in the end, and now I do. So
now you love it, just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
So the one thing I want you to work on this week for yourself, if you will, is to work on your 30-second commercial. Come up with what it is. And again, it doesn't have to be 30 seconds, but you get my gist. Like what you're going to say when people ask you out and about. Because if you're wearing your stripes, you guys, they're going to ask you all the time. And it's that perfect opportunity to say it the right way. I'm going to do the same thing because I don't have a good one. Mine is seriously, oh, I sell this makeup that doesn't come off, which is great. But that tells you right there, my focus is on selling, not on blessing other women. And if we can turn that focus around, then hopefully it will change, the whole entirety of our business anyway. So, here, Cass, I'm gonna unmute you. Anyway, so that's my story. Next week, my focus is going to be on handling objections specifically. There's 4 main objections that you deal with, and we're going to talk about how to deal with each one. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you all have a fabulous day.
Thanks.
Good.
bye, Cassie.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks, Haley. Bye.